While Belize has yet to confirm a positive case of the coronavirus, the looming COVID-19 crisis has the country on the edge. The government of Belize has put in place several measures, and so has the Kobe Foundation at the Belize Central Prison. With a dense population of 1,040 inmates, including the youths at the Wagner's Youth Facility, CEO Virgilio Maria says that the threat to these prisoners come from outside the prison walls.
Naturally knew from the get-go that the threat to the prisoners is not really by them, but it's rather those persons who are allowed to come to visit the prison, whether they are legal advisors, family, or friends.
To prevent the deadly virus from entering the prison, 2 weeks ago, members of the Kobe Foundation met to decide on a set of procedures that will be followed as preventative measures.
We've implemented those things since Monday. One of the things really is to have installed 2 wash hand basins for the staff and visitors to wash their hands before entering the prison. The inmates as well, once they're being admitted into the prison, they must wash their hands, as well as the law enforcement personnel who come to escort these prisoners to prison. They will be required to wash their hands at those wash hand basins. We're doing other things such as educating the staff and the inmate on what the coronavirus is and its effects and symptoms and those kinds of things. So we are into the educating phase of it currently, trying to let them be aware. We have other practices, other preventive practices and measures in place, such as asking them to make sure they clean the doorknobs and the gate handles, and even sanitizing of the transportation that transports staff and inmates to and from the prison.
CEO Murillo says that the staff will be screened. A memo will be circulated later this week informing prison staff that family visits will be suspended for the next 30 days.
We do plan to suspend visits at least for 1 month in the first instance, and then we will reevaluate the situation depending on what is happening in the country. I just thought it was prudent to implement the suspension on that temporary basis, because I think yesterday you heard the Prime Minister was on the radio and he had made the decision to close schools 14 days ahead of time. And I think it's just prudent for a prison because of the dense population and the close proximity with which prisoners reside. It's more prudent and wise to implement that.
New inmates will be quarantined. In the event that a resident at the prison becomes infected, Maria says that there's an action plan to prevent an outbreak.
One of the situations will be to, after he confirms it, I believe we'll get the person into KHMH, which is a normal practice around here anyway, because whenever we come across a situation that we cannot handle, then we naturally have to refer them to the main hospital, which is at KHMH. We have established one section of the prison to serve as an isolation block, and that is to isolate the new admissions, those persons who are coming in, brand spanking new. We want to be sure that they're okay. And so they will be isolated in one block, and then if there's a person displaying the symptoms strongly, that person will be quarantined in the first instance, and tests will be taken and sent to be tested, and once it comes out positive, they're going to ship them off to start their treatment, I guess, at KHMH.
Reporting for News 5, Hipolito Novello.